What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. Um, Honestly, my confidence has taken a hit. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Today was just like death by a thousand paper cuts. I don't even know exactly what I was trying to accomplish today. I think one of the things that I wanted to really focus on is small position sizing, but to be honest, small position sizing and just taking not the most ideal setups will really destroy you, right? And that's kind of what happened to me today. Now, only $122 loss, that's great. We really only have like $1,200 left in this account now, which kind of sucks. Balance is still positive, so that's great. But I think that's a psychological thing about prop firms is that like even though I'm up 600 bucks, it's like I'm down 1,000 or I'm down 800, you know? So price action has been rough for me. I really rely on breakouts, right? So if we kind of look at the chart and see what I was looking for, we have this huge zone in this area here, right? So when price is very choppy, where we get a breakout, we get a pullback, but then we don't get a bounce, right? Like we're trying to retest, but instead we continue lower, and then we get a bounce off key level, mind you, right? And then we get a breakout, and then we don't follow through. We come back down, we come back up, we come back down. Like when prices like that, for me, that's the worst type of market to trade because every breakout feels like, okay, we can keep going. And then you get a candle like this, and it's like, okay, we're going lower. And then we get a movement like that. It's like, okay, we're going higher. And then now you're getting a movement down like this. Okay, you're going lower. And then now you're starting to get a candle like that. It's like it's way too much, right? So unfortunately, my setup didn't work today. On days like these, you really just have to rely on key levels, right? And not saying that I don't use key levels because I absolutely do. I mean, you can see here, prior day point of control to a T, right? But and value area high to a T right here, but then we break it, but then we break through it, right? We land on point of control, we break point of control, we come back up, we break point of control. It's like it's so busy. Like look at this. I was just in this trade, that was my only winner for today, where I took it right here, and then now you're coming back down. Right? Huge volume to the downside. It's just so choppy, so rangy. I mean, you can't get through. You literally cannot get through. Um, and it happens, you know? So, I mean, if I really go through my trades today, I could just say that every setup is a bad setup here, right? We're trying to buy down here. This happened at like 8:30 or close to 8:30. Why are we trying to buy down here? Because we're landing on point of control. We have a good hammer on low volume though, so you're thinking it's gonna go higher. It doesn't go higher, right? Surprise, surprise. Come back down to this low. It's like, okay, I thought we broke it here. Had to adjust my level, the green level here. And then surprise, surprise, we bounce back up off a very key level down here, right? Or right here. You can't really see it because volume profile, but um, we had a huge key level from where we opened today. So we bounce there, take a loss there, you know? Then it's like I end up taking some more losses. They're just all stupid losses, if I'm being completely honest with you. I was just so focused on trading small and trying to get my groove back that I didn't really focus on my setup instead, and I ended up losing because of that. So it's honestly it's tough being down or down about 800, a little over $800. You know, we have 12 about less than $1,200 left until, that account is blown. Of course, I can still get it back. I'm not really too worried about that. I think what I'm worried about is just taking my trades, taking my setup, right? So for my future self, right? Because I know that I'm going to come back and watch these videos. I want to tell myself that your setup looks like this, right? And you can go back to previous videos and see what your setup looks like, right? But we know what our setup looks like. This is kind of our setup, but obviously it's not our zone, right? So instead, this is our setup right here. You break above, you pull back, and then you show signs and confirmation that you want to head higher. So that's literally what happened. That was the last trade I took. Right here, we broke the zone. I took a trade here I took it out for break even because I realized I was doing the same thing over and over again, right? Insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Um, so we broke here, broke the zone, we pulled back a little bit. We started heading higher, but there was no confirmation higher. So that's when I got out at this candle, I believe, right? Yeah, so right here, right here. Um, got out for break even, came back down, full pullback this time. High volume, but lower volume than this. High volume here for hammer, love to see that, right? And then we confirm here. So we take the trade here. Stop loss just right here, right? If I had added a good amount of contracts here, we could have used this as our target. Maybe we enter on VWAP here, get 14 points out of that. It's a good 14-point pot. Maybe that's about $100, but I only added one contract, and then we kind of added to confirm as we continued to head higher, and then we got stopped out. So yeah, it's just one of those things, man. One of those things. That's our only trade for the day. Now, was that a bad trade? No, I would say that's like a B setup. It's not perfect, but I really have to focus on volume confirming, okay, this is what's happening, right? Because volume is the thing that tells me the story, right? If I ignore volume, like how I did over here, right? When I got chopped up here, if I ignore volume, if I ignore my zones, if I ignore basically all the things that make my setup, then I'm going to lose. It's really just that simple, you know? So, yeah. Tomorrow we'll bounce back again, but third losing day in a row. I don't think I've had three losing days like that in a row for a very long time. Um, yeah, and if so, like let's look at this, right? If this goes high volume, if we get high volume, right now this is very low volume, right? But if that goes off of high volume, you have to be super excited because you broke the zone again, you pulled back, you're showing signs, but this is low volume, so I wouldn't even take this trade. I would not even take that because there's no volume to support that. And that's kind of what I have to remember. My setup has been back tested. I know what I'm doing. I know how to trade. I've been funded 2 times already. You know, it's like, why are we trying to rush the process when you already know what to do? If there's no trade, there's no trade. This should have been the only trade I took today. This one. That's it. And that should have been it. But it wasn't, right? We lost so much before that. So, yeah, it's just tough. Today at work, one of our meetings, one of my mentors did a presentation. She was talking about how you need to make sure we're treating our patients right and basically kind of going over like the basics of like chart review and going over the basics of what to look for when you're seeing a patient and things like that. And to be honest, most of the PTs there, most of the physical therapists, again, if you don't know, I'm a physical therapist. Most of the physical therapists have way more experience than I do, you know, especially in this setting, right? So for me, it was very valuable, but I'm sure the other PTs are like, what the heck? Like, why are we going through this? We kind of know this already. But for me, I was like, yeah, like this is awesome. Okay, so here you can see that still low volume at this time, but the price is going up, right? Remember, price is the most important indicator here, right? So that's actually another good entry if volume confirms. It is not. I don't know if TradingView is acting up, but this is a really good entry here if volume confirms and if this candle continues to head higher. But while that's happening, um, it's just one of those things where it's kind of like she said at the last slide of the PowerPoint said in the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, right? So the thing that I would do that would force me to lose here is I would have entered on that candle. You're like, oh, we're heading higher when I literally know. how to read volume price analysis, right? I literally know that that's a fake out. Look what's happening here, right? Doesn't mean that we can't reverse higher. It's like I literally know that's a fake out, but because I've had so much pressure on trying to win, trying to get a payout, trying to do this, trying to do that, right? Because I've had that, you know, this week, for whatever reason, this week has just been really rough for me. But because I've had that this week, this is what my trading looks like. All of this, all of that. Why? Right? It should be clean, add few, get out here, get out there, and you're done. But I didn't want to do that, you know? So, what I'm going to start doing, starting from tomorrow, right? Tomorrow is the 14th, so I have 2 more trading days left for this week. If I don't take my correct setup, meaning if I don't wait for the zone, so I'm literally laying it out here right now. If I don't wait for the zone to break on high volume, has to be on high volume. If I don't get a pullback, and if I don't get a confirmation before I take a trade, I don't know what I'm gonna do to myself. Maybe I don't want to punish myself. That's like really bad. But how about this? Don't, if I mess up on my setup, meaning that if I don't see a break of the zone on high volume, if I don't get a pullback, and if I don't get a confirmation on higher volume or high volume, then I'm not allowed to eat ice cream for the rest of the month. So maybe we could do it like that. But if I can finish the trading week just taking my setup and my setup only, then I'm definitely rewarding myself with some Chick-fil-A ice cream and cookies this weekend. So yeah. I just don't want to blow this account, man. I've worked so hard to get to this point. And again, like I said, I know I'm not going to, but I need to get out of this funk. It's been such a huge, huge rut I'm in. I'm stuck. I'm stuck, and price action's not helping, but it's my fault too, right? I'm not taking my appropriate setup, Like if you go back to my videos, you can see the wins I've had for most of them. They've been that setup. So here would be another one if we had broken on high volume, either moved sideways or retested and then confirmed lower. That's when I take the trade. There's none of these starter positions, none of this, oh, I'm scaling in before the move even happens. Like none of that. That doesn't work for me. And I know that. So I don't know why I think I can just suddenly become this different type of trader where all of a sudden that just starts to work for me. I know what works for me, you know? And I'm profitable doing so. So yeah, it's been a rough month. I mean, I had a feeling May was going to be bad for me, but yeah, it's way worse than I thought. Maybe I just put that bad vibe out there. It's been a rough month, down $264 this month. You know, can't seem to buy a win at all. I mean, yesterday was a win, but I just completely messed that up. Today, same thing. Just can't seem to buy a win, just messing up. You know, but we gotta get clean trades, clean trades, clean trades. You know, and we're just not doing it right now. But we did accept the risk today. We did trade stoically today, to a sense. We just didn't execute well, you know? So, it is what it is. But yeah, guys, hopefully you guys are having a way better week than I am. Always reminds me, I play Dragon Ball Legends. This is so off topic, but it always reminds me of Indokuba. Indokuba. He's like, whenever he's doing his summoning videos, you guys probably have no idea what I'm talking about. But if you do, like comment down below that you play Dragon Ball Legends too, or if you're even this far in the video. But in his summoning videos, at the end of his group summon, he's like, hopefully you guys got something way better than I did, or something like that. Or if he gets a really good summon, like if he gets a featured character, he's always like, hopefully you guys got something just as good. So today I'm saying hopefully you guys are trading way better than I am this week because this is a pretty bad week for me. Um, but still in good spirits, still in good spirits. Last thing I want to say too, it's so funny. I was watching my video from yesterday and I was like, wow. First of all, the thumbnail for my last two videos has gotten me real bad. Like I don't pick my thumbnails at all, but it's completely killed me. Like I'm like this on the thumbnail, like I just lost my account or something, And it's good because I was thinking to myself after yesterday losing $500, I was like, man, like I'm gonna be able to look back at this one day and laugh about it. But I was already laughing about it today. So, I'm still in good spirits. I'm not trading. This isn't the end of the world, obviously, like it's not the end of the world. We'll bounce back for sure. And I'm just gonna continue to smile through it and continue to work hard. We'll get out of drawdown. We'll bring our account back up to where it was. We'll keep doing the necessary things we have to, right? So tomorrow and Thursday, really focus on taking my setup, taking my trades, not rushing, sizing down a little bit, right? Because right now we're not winning. So we need to focus on what we're doing wrong. It's a very choppy market, as you can see. This is really terrible price action. Um, so we just got to do a better job. So there you guys, that's it for this video. I hope you guys are doing well, trading better than I am. And yeah, keep trading stoically.